Hello everyone, and I hope that every hacker is creating something new, and we see a lot of them during the submission periods. So, just be sure only 12 hours is left till the hackathon ends. So, if you haven't prepped, just get on to it. So, today we have with us that Akansha and Eric, and we'll be getting to know that how you can use Symbl.ai APIs for voice recognition or the conversational methods. So over to Akansha and Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much, Animesh, for inviting us. We are really happy to get show you getting started with Symbl.ai. And maybe in the chat section, you can let us know from which part of the world you have joined in. Okay,
Morning time for everyone, I guess.
yeah. Okay, let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Akanksha Vasin. I'm a community evangelist at Symbl.ai. I work in the DevRel space at Symbl, evangelizing about the product, building technical communities, and looking after the developer acquisition space. And with me, we have Eric. He's a lead developer advocate and he leads the developer advocacy and relations at Symbl. Hey Eric.
Eric.
So, before proceeding with a live hands on workshop, let's understand what Symbl is all about. So, Symbl.ai is a conversation intelligence platform that enables you to add AI and ML on top of your voice, video, or text communication interfaces. Think of Symbl as one-stop shop to manage all your conversations and generate automated speech recognition, sentiments, actions, questions, custom intents, and topics, analytics. Like there are so much more which you can do with those applications, and you don't need to build and worry about scaling ML in real time. We also have an awesome suite of APIs and SDKs that work with the REST interface for recorded files, URLs, or even streaming audio using WebSockets. If you are a web developer and you wish to know more about the conversation space, you will geek out with us and you will definitely be one day. And the other part of Symbl is you can stream audio directly from your device to Symbl and can use video recordings or webinars or build with Agora or Twilio. So it's domain agnostic. You don't need any upfront training. You don't need to train any intents, and you don't need to worry about training those. And it also saves a lot of time. And these are technical partners like AWS, Twilio, Agora, Trello, and Jira. So you can also do integrations with them as well and can do automation and can build applications on scale. So let's get started. And before heading towards the hands on workshop, I will pass on the link to the Postman collection. I will just share it in the chat section. So we have Swastika Bishnoi as well. Hi, Swastika. So just sign up on the platform. I can walk over through this as well. Let me share my whole screen once again. Just hop off to this link. Uh, Let me know if you can see the sign up page. It's visible?
Yes.
Great. So just sign up for Symbl.ai account. You can write your name, email, and password, or you can directly sign up with Google. So I have already done this process. So here's the platform.symbl.ai, and you can see API credentials, app ID, and app secret. So before setting up any project, if you want to use Symbl APIs, you need to configure those app ID and app secret, and you have to use those in your project. So this is the homepage of platform.symbl.ai, and I hope everyone has signed up. Maybe you can give a thumbs up once you sign up on it. And I'm also sharing the link to the Postman collection as well in the chat section. So we have Gaurav, freaking wish, and great. So I hope you have got the Postman collection link. Just click on it. Either you can download the application, or you can run it on web as well. So you can click Postman for web. So now just click on developer space, or you can also work on your workspace as well. So this is how the UI looks like. I'm giving just 1 minute so that you all are on the same page. And those who are new to the Postman, so Postman is basically a developer tool for facilitating the process of making API calls to and fro from a client. It does not require you to run those terminal commands or create a script in Bash. You can build an entire app from scratch to test those API endpoints. It empowers developers to reduce their time to first API call. So here's the Symbl API collection that you can see over here. We have telephony API, async API, conversation API. So just I'm showing it over here. Now click on authentication, and under authentication, click on generate token. So you need to create an access token before running any project. So before that, we need to set up our app ID and app secret over here. There is an eye icon. It would look like environment quick look. Just click on that eye, and under the global variables, like add your app ID and app secret, just click on edit. Like I've already done this process many times. I can show you. Just create a variable called app ID. Remember to add in camel cases, and app secret. I can grab my app ID from here, and I can copy it. At the initial value, it will replicate in the current value. Similarly, you can copy your app secret, and then you can paste it over here. So once you have added your app ID and app secret, just click on save. Let me know if you have any questions. Great. So let's proceed forward. Now under the authentication tab, click on generate token, and you can paste your app ID and app secret directly, but we would advise you to make like those global variables so that you don't need to add like you don't need to add like app ID and app secret again and again. So just put two curly braces and write app ID, and here you can put two curly braces and write app secret. The variables should match with this, the variables that you declared in the global. So once you have written your app ID and app secret as variables, just click on send, and we will make a post request. So as you can see, I got a status 200 okay, which means it runs perfect. I got an access token and it also shows like it expires in this much amount. So this is how it looks. I hope everyone is following along. I can wait for 30 seconds so that you all can keep up and running. And we also have telephony API, async API. So telephony API is based on PSTN and SIP connections. You can also add symbol to your Zoom calls, even on your phone call. So this happens through telephony. So you can study more about it through the docs. You can head over to docs.symbl.ai. And you can also put thumbs up or thumbs down if you are understanding all the process. So I was talking about the telephony APIs as they are based on the PSTN and SIP protocols. The telephony API basically provides an interface to Symbl join the VoIP calls and get the results back in real time as well. The developer can also trigger an email at the end of any conversation containing the URL, which we will cover in the conversation APIs. And second is async API. As the name says, it's asynchronous, which means the availability of the resource may not be immediate. It can be in the form of recorded files, be in the form of text, audio, or video formats as well. So you can process any type of conversation through it. So let's get started with the async API demo. So it's like a Hello World program, which I will show you so that you can understand how it works. So just click on text short transcript, submit a new conversation. So click on body. Under the body, there's content. So we can replace it with our content as well. Hey, I am ending, getting started with Symbl.ai workshop. And you can also write your email where you want to send the insights. Now just click on send. So I got a status 201. It means it's created. So this is the conversation ID. Just grab it. So whenever you process or analyze any text, audio, or video formats, you get a conversation ID that's unique to everyone, and it's useful for getting all the insights and analytics. Since we don't have a very long like text, we only have one line, so we don't have much insights from it. But if in case, let's say we are making an application where we are processing all the text. Let's say there's a WhatsApp group and there are thousands of messages that comes every day, and we want to process only those which have specific insights, let's say the class timings or the workshops. So you can pass those scripts, you can store it on any database, and you can pass it through Symbl, and it will segregate all the important stuff, and maybe you can show it on a platform as well. So now click on conversation APIs. Just click on get conversation. Now we will hit the endpoint and just paste your conversation ID. I need to copy it. So under the get conversation, paste your conversation ID over here and just click on send. So I get a status 200 okay, which means it's created. I also get a start time and end time. So it's basically the timestamps. Members, we only have one member, that's me. And here's my email where the insights will be sent. And we don't have message transcript since it's a short conversation, but let's say there are many people, let's say 5 people have joined a conversation, so we can also add on members as well. So it will segregate, like let's say Eric has said this and Akanksha had said this. And we also have topics, questions, follow-ups, action items or insights. And the last is the post experience. Just paste your conversation ID over here and click send. So you see, I got a URL that's created. So I will just paste it in my browser and will show you how the UI looks. So it's basically meeting insights sent from Symbl. So right now it's just a hello world program. So it's just one like, hey, I am getting started with Symbl.ai workshop. Let's say you have a big conversation. You can have summary topics, questions, insights that were asked in the call. And there was only one attendee. I forgot to change my name. So that's how it looks, and it also shows the timestamp as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Great. I hope everyone is following along. In case you have any doubts, you can ping us in the chat section. And the basic motive of like Symbl, like there are multiple, wherever there's natural human conversations, Symbl can be a part of it. Like we have so many meetings daily and it's impossible to keep a note of all the meeting insights, topics or action items that happen in a call. Let's say if someone is on leave, and sending him the whole 2 hour recording of the meeting won't help him much. So how about Symbl analyzing the whole text and video and sending us actionable insights irrespective of the topics that are important, and hence saving a lot of time. So you didn't need to create those ML models and segregate all those topics, insights and action items. We help you there. You just need to hit some API endpoints and you can get started with it. You just need to focus on building the right end user experience and simply drop APIs in your conversation flow. So I'm also passing the link to the docs as well, so that. So there's one question from Nishan. Can we have insights in different languages? So right now we are only doing in English, and there's, I think there's one more language called German, which still it's in the beta phase. But you can also have insights. Maybe you can use a translator. Like it's nowadays it's really easy to translate the whole page. So you can also translate what you got in English to another language as well. So we have done the authentication. So now we are ready to go forward. So we understood about what Symbl.ai is. We also get started with Symbl APIs, and we got an overview about Symbl AIs and we hit some endpoints. Now we will do some more demos as well on streaming API. So let's get started. Just head over to docs.symbl.ai and go to streaming API section. So today we will learn how to get like live speech to text and AI insights on any browser. So this happens through the WebSockets, and you can study more about WebSockets in the concept section. And let me show you how it works. I'm just opening the homepage of Symbl.ai. Just go to inspect elements, click on console. Now just scroll it to the down where you can see the full code sample. Just copy it and paste it over the console. So today we will see how we can get like uh, live transcription. We will get all those insights, topics live through WebSockets using streaming API. Once you have pasted the code, on the top you must have seen this cons access token. So you remember while we were exploring Postman collection, we also got an access token while authenticating. So I will head over to my Postman and I will go to authentication. Then I click on generate token and here's the access token. I will grab my access token over here. I have copied and I'm pasting under the const access token section. So once I've added, like whenever you run it on your console, you will get a pop-up and you need to allow your microphone to get all your recordings and all the insights. So I've added my access token over here. I hope everyone is following along. So you just need to paste your access token and do add like double quotes as well. So now I'm clicking on enter. So whatever I'm speaking right now is getting recorded. So you see, here's the live transcript that's being generated, and we can also get some action items, topics, or questions. Let's say if I ask question, what's the time right now, or how are you doing? So these questions which I'm speaking right now will also get captured. Let's see if we have any action item insights or topics that have been targeted. You can see like we are getting live transcription from here. Let me show you. So I just said this, whatever I'm speaking right now is getting recorded. So it means it's working fine. And I'm also getting the questions which I asked, like, so how are you doing? So it means the questions are also getting tracked. So that's how the whole thing processes. And I hope everyone is following along. If you have any questions, you can ask in the chat section as well. So you see topics also get detected. So this was more accurate. I talked about process. I also talked about action items. Let's see if there are any other insights. Okay, so now I pass it on to Eric.
Thank you, Akansha.
Yeah.
It was a really great demo of the WebSockets API. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. In the screen that I'm going to share, I'm going to open up a Google Collaborative document. In the Google Collaborative document, I'm going to introduce you to the Python SDK. After I introduce you to the Python SDK, we're going to upload a conversation through the async API that Akansha showed you. After we upload the conversation, we're going to use 3 Python libraries to create a time series analysis of the sentiment. You go ahead and share my screen right now. Just a second.
And till the time Eric is showcasing, and like I showed you how async works, so there are multiple aspects, like you can read more through the docs. Like you can also add sentiments and emotions as well. You can add confidence threshold and polarity. Let's say we are doing a conversation, you can add like items like silence talk, total talk time ratio, so we can get all those insights, like who was the most active in the conversation. And there was one project which was built by some hackathon, like in hackathon, so they built a debately project. So they used Symbl.ai to create an online debating competition. So they both online speak, let's say speaker A speaks and speaker B speaks, and if in case they use any fast words or abusive words in between, the session will get ended from their end and they will disqualified. So you see, they can also add like trackers to track those items, like those negative elements. Whenever it gets captured from Symbl, it will redirect to the application and it will end it. So there are multiple things which you can do. And in case of customer care, let's say I'm a sales agent and I'm talking to a customer right now. So you know, like whenever the sales agent is talking to a customer, we don't get to understand much about whether they are interested to buy those item or not. So maybe we can track those analysis and sentiments on the basis of what the user is saying, and the agent can only focus on the pitching, and after the end they can analyze all the things whether it went well, and they can create those things on charts and how they can improve further. So coaching, customer care, meeting productivity, revenue intelligence. So there are multiple aspects which CI can help. So it's not limited to just transcribing and getting those summaries, but it also automates and analyzes those conversation. So let's get
That's
started with Symbl Python SDK.
wonderful. Thank you, Kansha. Yeah,
Yeah.
Symbl's Python SDK allows you to add conversation intelligence directly into your web applications or your meeting platforms. It also allows you to generate speech to text and to program intelligence into your real time stream analyses and computer telephony interfaces. It provides you access through convenience methods to all of the underlying APIs available at Symbl AI. It is a convenient way to bridge the gap between conversation data, which is essentially timestamp data, and the budding world of artificial intelligence, ML, and NLP. To get started with the Symbl Python SDK, the first step is to install the SDK. If you'd like to install the SDK, a prerequisite for its installation is Python. If you haven't already added Python to your machine, right now is the perfect time to do so. I recommend that you add Python to your machine through Home Brew. I have a blog on Medium that explains how to set Python up through Homebrew. Oops. Once you've set up Python, the next step is to install the Symbl Python SDK. The way that we recommend that you install the Symbl Python SDK is through pip. And here are a few of the commands that you can run to install Python, the Symbl Python SDK through pip. um, and then once you've installed it, you can set it up. Now, for our current code snippet, we will only configure the credentials to run locally, or that is to say inline, as opposed to setting those up with a token server, which is a best practice that we recommend. Due to the time constraints of the live events, we prefer to set our credentials up in inline. You can read about how to do that in the configuration section of Symbl AI's documentation. And then Finally, after you SDK up, the next step is to import the SDK, and then you'll configure the SDK to hit API endpoints through the convenience methods. Again, if you wanted to check this out, the documentation link is here. Akansha will share that link with you right now. Let's go ahead and try out the Python SDK. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch the window through the screen sharing function. And I'm going to go to the Google Collaborative document. Wonderful. You should see the title of the document as Time Series Analysis IPYNB. Now I'm going to try to enlarge the screen so that you can more easily see the code. We've introduced the Symbl AI's Python SDK. The next step is to introduce the other libraries. Pandas is a powerful library because Pandas is built on top of NumPy, which is a multi-dimensional array object, together with matplotlib. Matplotlib is designed to provide capabilities for data visualizations. And combining these two things together, we're going to come up with a time series analysis of the timestamped conversation data that Symbl AI's APIs produce as a result of its speech recognition algorithms. Inside of Pandas is a thing called a data frame. A data frame is essentially a programmatic object for two-dimensional, size-mutable, potentially heterogeneous tabular data. It is more or less a rectangle or a square or a glorified term for a spreadsheet where you have rows and you have columns. That's essentially what a data frame is, but you can also perform CRUD operations on the data frame. You can also insert it into the capabilities for NumPy or the capabilities for Matplotlib. We'll be doing that. Now, just to give you a brief overview of what a data frame is in a concrete example of Python, here you import pandas as PD, and then you select data frame after you assign it to a variable we'll call data frame. You can ignore the other variable. And you can see here what we have is a dictionary with key value pairs. You have A corresponding to an array of numbers, and then you have B corresponding to an array of numbers. And we can take that data frame and we can plot that data frame onto X and Y coordinates, and we can create a graph. With Symbl AI's APIs, we're able to take conversations, transform those conversations into time-stamped conversation data. Once we've got the time-stamped conversation data, we're able to interpret that with these Python libraries, and we're able to loop through the data to create rows and columns that we need for a data frame. And then we're able to create and plot time series analyses. Now, in the following code snippet, which is essentially the bread and butter of what the Symbl AI's Python SDK is all about, you have a payload that you configure. You take a URL and you set the URL up to a .wav file. The next step is to create a credentials dictionary with an app ID and to load the app ID and then the app secret. That credentials dictionary is what we will pass into the call to Symbl AI's audio process URL API endpoint. Akansha had showed you that API endpoint earlier. So essentially we're taking those two elements of the API endpoint and we're passing it into the convenience method right here. And once we do that, we save the response as conversation. And then in the second step, we will pass a parameter the conversation API, and the parameter will be sentiment set up to be true. And we'll make another API call, and we'll save the response to that API call as response. And then we will set up two empty arrays, timestamps and polarities, and we will loop through those. Sorry, we will loop through the messages in response. And once we've done that, we append the start times of the messages to the timestamps array, and we append the polarity scores to the polarity. We'll go ahead and oops. My computer is frozen. Sorry about that. There we go. It looks like it snapped out of it. Okay. So after we've set up those arrays, we go ahead and we import pandas, and we set the array up as a data frame, as you would have guessed. And then we call the plot function, and we plot the timestamps. And so we're able to see the rise and fall of the polarity scores over time, over the time of the conversation. And with Symbl AI, you are able to take conversation data, and you're able and transform it into something that is human readable. If you were to see the scores, these scores would be decimal numbers with negative or positive decimal numbers, and these are less capable of read in the series graph itself. The time series graph is much easier to read. So with something like this, which is just the tip of the iceberg for Symbl AI and Python, you are able to create data visualizations of conversation data in real time that can give you insight into conversations as they occur. If you think back to the example that Akansha gave you, computer telephony interfaces, for instance, are set up to monitor calls for customer satisfaction. If a call is experiencing rapid drops in polarity scores within a short period of time, you can imagine that the application logic for a CTI would onboard a manager to help facilitate a turn in the conversation so that a customer's satisfaction moves away from negative polarity scores to positive polarity scores. That is just one way to apply the value that you obtain from using Symbl AI's APIs. There are many, many, many others, and the team at Symbl AI is looking forward to you as developers to come up with and to implement those solutions in your hackathon for the Data Arias hack. And on that note, I want to pass the mic back to Akansha so she can give you a recap of our session tonight and prep you for the next steps in your journey through Symbl AI.
Sure, Eric. So we have gone through all the demos. So here's a quick overview, like a bird eye view of the Symbl.ai platform, just for the recap. So you can process audio, text, video, chat, VoIP, or voicemail form of conversations. You pass it on either through the streaming APIs or through the real time using WebSockets. And it also happens in the form of batch as well. So streaming, recorded, real time, and batch. All the things can be processed. So here's like a brain of Symbl .ai, where all the APIs perform. Like at the back end, we have a lot of machine learning models and neural networks. You don't need to care about that. You just need to pass on your conversation, be it in any voice, text, or audio format, and you need to find out whether it's asynchronous or it's in real time. And after that, when it's processed, the speech recognition part also comes into play. We also have trackers, like I mentioned. I gave you an example. Let's say in a conversation, you can add those trackers. Let's say you want to calculate the frequency of a particular word uh, in a conversation, maybe like a debate competition where you want to track who used the best words or what set of words was used by person A or person B, so we can also judge them according to that. And we had analytics. We are also understood about contextual insights, total talk time, silence ratio, was the conversation too dull, or was we can also get all the insights on the basis of the talk time and silence ratio, the questions that were asked. And at the last, so we offer like real time tracking and personalized intents, which we call as trackers. We also have accessibility and CI powered search. So you can also build a platform where you can search those particular words that have been used. So you can build upon using our APIs. We offer CI enabled workflow automation. If you have heard about Jira tickets, like most of the people who work in companies, they use like to allocate different tasks, they use Jira and Trello boards. So maybe you can automate. Let's say I'm talking to Eric right now, like, hey Eric, I was working on this XYZ project, and that XYZ project term will be created a ticket and it will be on your board. So you can also automate those stuff by integrating Jira with Symbl. We also have content moderation and distribution along various channels, and it can also be used in real time or async coaching. Let's say there is a person who fumbles a lot, maybe they can make an Android app or anything and pass on symbols, so they can record their conversations daily and they can track those. Like you understood about the time series analysis graph, maybe you could build something which those intents, like the time as well as what was the talk time or was the silence ratio, how many times there was a long pause, maybe you fumbled in between, so everything can be tracked and you can create an application out of those. And at the last, we have conversation quality and analytics. You also get to know the whole quality of the call, how it went using those analytics. So here's a short recap. We understood about how Symbl.ai work. We also went through async API, the web sockets, as well as we also gone through the Python SDK and conversation API running a web socket stream. So here's a quick recap, and this is our Symbl.ai community. So we host a lot of events throughout the month. Like in May, we launched Integrate to Disrupt Hackathon. Like it was a great response. We had like 2,000 people that signed up for the hackathon. It's still in the phase, like it's in building phase right now. Although you can't participate since ideation phase had ended, but in future we will also do such hackathons. And we also host multiple events, live streams, and virtual happy hours where you can connect with members, since we are spread all across the world, like some people from the APAC region and US, so you get a great opportunity for networking with other folks as well. And the next is our Symbl.ai developer program. So I will pass all the links to this in the Discord channel as well, to the developer program. Do join Symbl.ai track channel on Discord, and I will share the link to all these programs. And here's the link to all the resources. I can also share this in the chat section. Wait a second. And if you have any questions or you feel stuck in between, you can, there's a support channel or Symbl.ai community. So you can definitely join this as well. I'm sharing the link to our Slack channel. And don't forget to tweet about your experience. You can use hashtag Symbl.ai and you can tag as tag it as Symbl dev and Symbl.ai.
That's great.
Yeah. And let us know if you have any doubts. So thanks, Aditya. So he's saying Symbl API building is a cool part. Thanks, Sunila. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in.
So I have just one more surprise for the hackers. At the end of the session, as Akansha said, those who just tweet their experience or this session post or what they are building using Symbl.ai, then we will choose one person from those tweet and will do a giveaway of the swags and the stickers as well. So
Yeah,
please make sure that you do this and enter the giveaway. I hope that all of you enjoyed and can't wait to see what you do.
yeah. And do participate in Symbl.ai track, and the best winner will get $100 Amazon gift card as well as Symbl swags from us. And even if you don't win, we also have other opportunities like Symbl.ai developer program, and we will also feature your projects if they are in the eligible criteria. So happy hacking!
So thank you people for joining in and good luck to your projects.
Great.
Yeah.
Bye everyone.